Welcome back. We're still talking about the change we need, and we're being joined from our Abuja studio by Umar Abdullahi, a public affairs analyst. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Okay, we're hoping we'll get Binta, but since you're there, let's have you. Tell us, we've been discussing this change for a while now. I mean, since the president launched it, and it's brought up a lot of reactions from different quarters. What is your take on the change begins with me?
Good morning, everyone. And actually, I think I've lost.
Go ahead.
Okay. The change actually we need actually doesn't need to start from the masses only. We expect a change from everybody, all the office holders, and everybody involved, even from Mr. President himself. I am a representative of IDP, and I'm from my party actually. We so much believe in patriotism, that the nation, the citizen come first before actually any personal interest, a person's interest or a kind of a party interest. So that's what we expect to see right now in Nigeria happening. Because actually the current situation we're seeing now, the change doesn't touch everybody. And we are praying to see a kind of change that will touch everybody, because actually we Nigerians voted for this government with full confidence that change will come. But actually a lot of places are not touched. So as a Nigerian and as a patriot, I expect to see a kind of every place being touched, because it's not a change from the masses only. The masses are already pushed to the wall, which I expect other government officials or office holders, especially the elects should like come together and understand that this change is not only about the masses. The change should be like everybody involved. The people, we should see the change from them holding the offices. We should see the change from even the people close to the Mr. President himself. So to be candid, actually, we're just looking forward to see what is actually going to happen.
Omar, what would you say to those who say that this change, this campaign should have been launched on the day that the president was sworn in, riding on the groundswell of support which he had at that time?
Of course, actually their motto has been this change from the word go. But when now that the campaign is being launched, well, I think there are a lot of things that need to be put in place before the change is being launched. And I'm with you the way just you said that the change should be, as in the idea should be brought initially, and this change should be between even like myself and you should be all involved. Just the way I've just had a kind of past caller calling, saying. As in the people in the offices should be fully involved, just like the teachers from the offices, everybody from their respective places should come together and look into this change. An example now, even the APC people, it's a kind of ruling party. So what we expect from them is to see them coming forward to see that they are really changed before Nigerians come together and understand the true meaning of the change.
But you said you expected to see certain things before the launch. What kind of things are you talking about?
Yeah. For example, now actually, we are all Nigerians. There are some, when the change is like set, the campaign, before the campaign is set. For example, now we all understand, let me give you a kind of simple example. This, let me just go to let me touch road safety. I'm like pointing fingers, but for the past 20 years, we all know that nobody is being tested or like being trained or is being monitored before issuing before it's issued, is given a kind of driver's license. But we all know that people arrest you on the road to ask you, give us your driver's license, which is a kind of something so very, very unreal. You know, I know, you know, everybody knows that. So these are the kind of sensitive places that we know that the government should touch before telling the people come out to join the change whatsoever.
Okay, Umar, we'll come back to you in Abuja. Mrs. Benite, okay, I asked a question for about training. How would we go about training? Because when we say restructuring, mindset restructuring or official restructuring, and then if we're doing mindset restructuring, that's when we need to talk about training.
I mean,
so
nations like Singapore, South Korea, and modern nations that began to make phenomenal economical change started with value change, and there was training. The reality is that more people come into leadership, they don't even understand leadership. We did not employ or vote for kings and princes. That's not what we are. Some people go to these political offices and thinking that they are princes. Princes are born or selected by community. Political office, you're voted, so you're becoming a chief servant. The change we need, because we need to also know what kind of changes. We need a constitutional change. That constitution is a problem. There are issues in our constitution that needs to be changed for us to fight the corruption. For example, there are issues of law against corruption that are very, very faded and really mild. Vague, mild. We need to revisit our constitution because that is a bedrock of justice and ensure that that change is needed. Meaning that people in the National Assembly need training. We have experts in human behavior, changes, experts in reformational people. We have organizations in Nigeria. If we don't have them here, the ones that we have to bring in as partners, we need behavioral changes. Because one of the key to transformation is civility. We need to become a civilized society. Civilization is not, you're not born with civilization.